Most people think that feeling out of place means there's something wrong with you, but psychologists say the opposite. The truth no one tells you is that people who never feel like they fully fit anywhere often have minds that operate on a deeper, more complex level than the environments around them. And the unsettling part is that if this feeling follows you from one place to another, it might not be because you're lacking something, it might be because you're noticing things others don't. But the urgency comes from this. The longer you ignore this feeling, the more it shapes your identity without you realizing it. This matters because feeling out of place doesn't appear loud or dramatic. It appears quietly, in small, subtle ways. And the worst is that almost nobody sees how dangerous these microsignals can become. A hesitation before speaking, a sense of being the observer instead of the participant, a constant distance, even in familiar spaces. But the side that's truly unsettling is that these sensations don't fade on their own, they accumulate. The brutal truth is that people who feel this way aren't lost, they're adapting to mismatched environments, and that adaptation creates psychological habits most never notice. One of the first habits is social scanning. People who feel out of place constantly read the room, tone shifts, energy changes, inconsistencies. Psychologically, this builds hyper-awareness. More intelligent minds use it to understand dynamics, less aware minds turn it into self-blame. And this leads directly into something deeper. Another habit is identity splitting. These individuals adjust themselves depending on where they are, not out of manipulation, but survival. Psychologically, it creates flexibility, but fragments authenticity. Sharper minds use it as a tool. Unfocused minds let it erode their sense of self. And the next habit becomes even more to reveal. There's also emotional withholding. They hold back thoughts, reactions, and opinions because they expect others won't understand. Psychologically, this creates internal tension. More conscious individuals use the restraint to refine insight. Less conscious individuals suffocate under their own silence. And this habit opens the door to the next one. Another sign is intellectual isolation. Even in groups, they feel mentally alone. Their thoughts move in directions others don't follow. Psychologically, this builds cognitive depth, but amplifies social distance. Highly intelligent minds channel it into creativity. Less aware minds turn it into withdrawal. And the next habit becomes even harder to ignore. Then comes hyper-observation. Instead of participating, they watch, not out of shyness, but precision. Psychologically, this provides clarity, but steals presence. More reflective minds use it for understanding. Less reflective minds use it to justify detachment. And the next habit reveals the hidden cost. Another habit is values misalignment. They constantly feel out of sync with the priorities of those around them. Psychologically, this protects their identity, but intensifies detachment. Smarter minds navigate it with intention. Less aware minds crash into confusion. And this brings everything together. The truth is that these habits form a psychological pattern. It's not about belonging, it's about resonance. People who feel out of place everywhere often have minds that operate ahead of their environment. But most will ignore this and force themselves to fit where they were never meant to. Only a few will recognize the pattern and understand what it truly means. If you want to understand psychology without filters, the real mechanics behind why you feel the way you do, then don't just watch, stay here. The insights that actually change you begin exactly at this point.